A warm welcome to Tarot Talks podcast with Edith Mary, where we take a deep dive into each of the tarot cards one by one. We'll go through the nuances of the symbols, the deeper meanings, card combinations, and layouts. I happily share my 13 years of experience reading and teaching tarot. There's a lot to cover, and I welcome your input and insights as we travel the path of the tarot. I'll also answer any questions you have texted or emailed me. You can reach me by email, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, all of which can be found on my introduction page. I'm your host, Edith Mary, master reader and tarot educator. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Tarot Talks with Edith Mary, also known as Edith Babbling over tarot cards, which I absolutely love to do. Today's episode will be the moon. The moon is a lovely thing. I love to sit out and meditate to the moon, and the full moonlight just sort of shine on me and heal me, because the moonlight is a reflection of sunlight. There would be no moonlight without the sun. So you are still getting a gentler version of the sun when you're out moonbathing. It can also, when it shows up in our reading, represent the time when we need to let loose, when we need to just let our hair down and howl at the moon and just run amok for a couple of minutes. The full moon is a good time for gratitude prayers for what you've received, knowing that you will receive even more as we move forward and as time obviously moves on like it does. So it's something to meditate on the moon card, in that, what is it the full moon brings you? What is it the new moon brings you? What is it that makes the moon drive you crazy? Period. Why do we go crazy during a full moon? Police and for their first responders will also tell you that there's more emergency calls during the time of the full moon, that there are more crises during the time of full moon. A lot of people will become a little different during the time of the full moon. You know when it's coming because of the way they're acting. They get a little weird. Or some people, not everybody, but some people, it is a sign that their crazy is coming out. Well, maybe the crazy's always been there. Maybe that's what the moon card is now representing, that we have some mental health issues that we need to resolve, whether it be simple, need a little bit of therapy for a couple of times and everything will be okay, to some really heavy duty psychological problems. Anxiety, depression, bipolar, it all comes out in the moon card. It all comes out in the warnings of the moon card, that if you don't stay in balance, this is what can happen. And we become easily overwhelmed and we break down. And that is what the moon card is trying to warn us against, to stay in balance, because the tarot is all about balance. It's not just one thing or another. It's also a warning that, yes, an episode may be coming on, but maybe we should take steps to avoid it in the first place. Maybe it is a warning to not let things drive you crazy, to do the self-care, to do the healing so that other people don't become that bothersome. It's also the don't be so straight-laced, it's time to party. This is the full moon, for heaven's sakes. Let's go have a party. It also addresses your psychic abilities. It addresses the need to sharpen them, to develop them if you want to. You certainly don't have to. But it can heighten your sense of what's going on in my life by developing those psychic abilities. Even if it's just your intuition, is still a psychic ability. And you can use that intuition to redirect your life for more positive outcomes. You can like redirecting the tides to a more positive outcome so that you don't get flooded. Our intuition is exactly like that. Redirecting our lives so we don't become flooded with all kinds of negativity and yucky people, because you don't need yucky people making you even crazier. So it's the call to balance between your psychic abilities, your intuition, and common sense, which is always about balance, which is what we're always trying to achieve, is good, positive balance. It also shows that because there is something wild and something domesticated in the card, and almost all decks, it shows both sides of our personalities and both sides of who we are, because one is strength and one is reason. And we need to keep those things in balance. They keep each other in check. The wild and the reason keep each other in check. It's also a call to get your emotions under control. Because if you're not in control of yourself, others are. And so if your emotions are out of whack, you are out of whack, and negative people can come in, negative things and entities and attachments can come in and take charge of you. And so think of it when it's in the shadow side, think of it as a call for self control and to not let your emotions get carried away because you don't need too much influence from outside. You need influence from your guides and from your angels, not from people so much. You can think about life as an emotional trampoline, and the moon card is showing you your highs and the lows. And while it's nice to do a few tricks and scare people, you can overdo that too. While you're at it, excuse me, I was having a little bit of a soda attack there. This card also warns you of being careful of deceitful people, people who want to take you off your path, people who do want to control you. You have to be watchful of that at pretty much all the times, but particularly when the moon card shows up in your reading. You also have to ask yourself some of the hard questions. Am I easy to manipulate? Or am I doing really well at manipulating others? Because both of those things are bad. Are you using your mental illness as a crutch or as a manipulation tool for others to use on others? Is this goal I have in mind of climbing Mount Everest, is that doable considering I'm in a wheelchair? So you need to work on what is realistic and outlandish, what is good and what is unachievable. You can also ask yourself what you're afraid of. What is it you're worried about? What is coming at you so hard and so fast, you have to go into like an altered state in order to deal with life. In other words, retreat into the depression or start doing drugs or alcohol. So when the moon shows up, we need to be aware of the outlandish in our life, the things that seem too good to be true, or the things that seem too bad to actually happen, because an out of balance emotional state will bring both of those things. Explain how one day you can be on top of the world and the next day you could be contemplating suicide. Those things, both of those things are true when your emotions are incredibly out of balance. So the moon card is asking you to do what the star card started, to finish healing. Don't relapse. Move forward. So thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of today. Please feel free to connect with me on all of the social media. Ask me questions. If you have a differing opinion, I'd really like to have a discussion about that because that opens my mind too to different possibilities that I hadn't thought of before. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. You have been listening to Tarot Talks with Edith Mary. If you have any questions or differing opinions about anything you've heard today, please feel free to reach out. I always welcome curious minds and encourage study and open discussion as long as we are kind and use our manners. I am currently accepting new clients and students. Though the classes do fill up fast, another one will always be coming up. All of the information you need to reach me is on my introduction page. If you happen to be interested in sponsoring an episode or making a financial gift, please reach out. That information is also listed on my introduction page. Your support makes all of this possible and is very much appreciated. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk tarot next time.